And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Tigers!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yeah.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
The playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
What is up, guys? Dirty Boot Sports, and we are back with another interview. This is our first one in what, a month now, probably, or two?
A while now, yeah.
Actually, I think the last one was Ross Jackson.
Yeah.
So today we are keeping it in the Locked On New Orleans family, and we're bringing in Jake Madison. Say what's up.
How's it going, you guys? Thanks for having me on to talk some Pelicans hoops here.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we're glad to have you. NBA is at center stage now. So football is gone. It's basketball's time. And, man, this past weekend was some great basketball. I had a blast watching. I even watched the Iowa women's game. Great game. Iowa, Indiana. Caitlin Clark was you knew that ball was going in at the timeout.
Caitlin Clark is legit.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
Her for her shooting ability.
Honestly, yeah.
Stick her in a corner.
Yeah.
She and like the LSU team, I think, have gotten so many more people into like women's hoops than they have been before. And it's a real fun game to actually watch. I know for a long time, it was kind of like the butt of jokes of things. And then you really start to watch it and you're like, this is fantastic basketball.
It really is. It really is. So yeah, let's just get right on into this. First off, tell us about you and your journey to where you are now.
Yeah, I grew up a huge basketball fan, and I host the Locked On Pelicans podcast. So it's 5 days a week. I don't know the exact number of shows I've done now with this, but it's in like two or 3,000, something like that is the number of shows that I've done. And, the show does well. Locked On Saints does well. Locked On as a group is probably the second biggest podcast network in the United States in terms of sports. So it's really fun to be part of. And it's kind of like the culmination of a long journey I've had in sports media. I went to undergrad at Tulane and studied, journalism and other things, and kind of wanted to be in sports, but took a bit of a circuitous route there. It's not an easy industry to kind of make it in, especially if you actually want to make some money and be able to live off of that. It can be pretty brutal. You look at things like Sports Illustrated doing a number of layoffs recently and the like. So, after a couple of years of just like working and trying to make money, I worked in finance. I bought then Hornets season tickets and realized I wanted to like get back to kind of being involved on, with basketball, with sports on like a deeper level. And so having a bit of that background, I applied to a blog. It was called Swarm and Sting. It was the fan-sided blog. It's now Pelicans Debrief. And they were like, yeah, you can come on and write for free, which is not the easiest thing to do, but I was in a position where I was able to do that. And I've kind of like worked my way up from there. From there, I started working for Hornets 24/7, which got rebranded as Bourbon Street Shots, and basically ran that and produced the majority of content for a couple of years before Locked On, offered me this opportunity, and I kind of jumped to it. And that's when money started getting made. And that's always a good thing in this industry, I think. So it's been kind of like, progression, kind of going from step to step to step and kind of learning new skills and refining skills along the way. And now I host, the Pelican Show, and it's a lot of fun, even when the team's not too good.
Yeah. I mean, you're living the dream, honestly, with just talking basketball. And that's all I want to do. So I know that. And with this podcast, we've been doing it since Memorial Day, and we've kind of, I guess, grown to love it as we go, of just being able to come in once a week or twice a week and just talk sports. Like, it's just awesome to do. And also New Orleans with the freaking Swarm and Sting and Bourbon Street Shots
is awesome.
Those are just awesome names. I mean,
it's just like amazing puns and everything, right?
Yeah. So Peyton,
are you from Louisiana?
No, I'm from Los Angeles originally, and then I went to Tulane, and I've stayed there ever since. So I moved to New Orleans in 2004. So I've been there pre-Katrina. I've lived in New Orleans longer than I lived in Los Angeles at this point. So I'm not from there, but I think I count enough as a local at this point, hopefully.
Yeah. If you've been through Katrina, you count.
Yeah, you're good.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't leave from Katrina. You stayed there. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've like earned it at this point.
Yeah. Peyton, you want to get it started with?
Yeah. Oh no, we suck again.
I'm gonna start out with this, and I might be wrong on this, and you might correct me on this. I feel like, yes, Zion's injuries are obviously he's hurt against. Yes, the team is built around his game and his ability. I'm not sure if Billy Green's answer. Am I wrong with that?
No, I'm planning out the episode of Locked On Pelicans I'm going to record after this and kind of then post, and it hits on a lot of that. Losing Zion Williamson, who's your focal point, is going to derail things, and that's going to change some things. But this team has enough talent there with Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Jonas Valanciunas to not look like they did against the Orlando Magic. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to lose like you did to the Knicks, to the Magic, where just you look at them and you feel it through the TV or even being in the building that like something's wrong and something's kind of deeply wrong with them right now. During the 10-game losing streak that the Pelicans had, I wasn't too concerned about the team. I was like, I'm feeling okay with all of this. There were a number of games that could have won during that. They looked competent, and they looked like a team that was still trying to kind of figure some things out. And they were doing that without both Zion and Ingram at times. Right now, though, I don't see the same team out there on the court, and I think that's kind of the biggest problem. And Willie Green had a couple of quotes in his post-game presser after the loss to the Orlando Magic, right? He said, down the stretch, we put the ball in Brandon and CJ's hands, and that's kind of what we want to do. We have to knock down shots. And then he went on to say, the game comes down to executing and limiting mistakes. Playing harder, playing more together was there, and we want to work from there. It's just a tough loss on our home floor. If you watch that final stretch in the fourth quarter, especially after they tied the game, none of that was good. Like, none of that was good. There was no good offense there. It's not about like executing that better, because even if you execute that perfectly, it's still bad offense. And so you're starting to kind of see for the first time, I think this season, a flawed process, a flawed approach that the coaching staff is taking. And if the head coach is going to come in after that and be like, no, this is exactly what we want to do, this is all good, we can be better, that makes me concerned. That sounds like a coach that's too stubborn or doesn't want to see the actual problem here. And you see that in the rotations and some of the lineups that they put out there. Herb Jones shooting 3 3-pointers in the fourth quarter shouldn't be shots that they necessarily watch.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, he's shooting 28% from 3. That's a shot the opponent wants you to take. Just because it's an open 3-pointer to a not good 3-point shooter, that's not good. And I'm starting to see a process problem, and I don't know if the Pelicans really have an answer to that right now based on what the coach is saying.
Yeah, Herb's the one that drives me crazy. And I know he's out there for defensive purposes.
Like, know your role.
Yeah. But he really even aggravates him on the defense. He's not really, he fouls a lot. I feel like he's out of position a good bit. But yeah, like, you're not a 3-point shooter. Like, you're taking Trey Murphy's minutes away. Like, I'd rather have Murphy out there. Yeah, you might give up a little less on defensive end, but Murphy can do more on the offensive end, which we need.
You have to score to win.
Yeah.
Like,
and Murphy's shooting.
Well, it's both, right? Like, it's both, right? Like, you say Herb's taking Trey Murphy's minutes. I mean, that's not Herb's fault, right? Like, that's the coach's fault. He's just out there kind of doing what he's told, right? Like, and that's where it's tough to find a balance. You just said, like, right, you need to get offense and score, but you also had to get stops. Banchero went down and scored on 3 or 4 straight possessions from the mid-range, and so you need to find a balance of offense and defense, but certainly putting out both Herb Jones and Josh Richardson isn't giving you either of those things. You need to find the right kind of balance there, and that's something that the Pelicans are really struggling with right now. And I think that's leading to a lot of kind of confusion. I think that's also something that's really kind of getting in these players' heads a little bit. You don't want Herb Jones taking that shot, but that if you don't have another shooter out there, he's got to rip it, right? And you've just got to kind of hope he makes it, because you need someone to punish the defense for leaving these guys wide open. And so that's where it comes to kind of like a flawed process and what they're doing. And if you put Trey out there, are they going to completely sag off of him? Probably not. But you still do need to find stops. So do you maybe have to take a guy like CJ McCollum out there, who shot 1 of 8 from 3 in that game, and put in a player like Dyson Daniels? and make some of these hard decisions on things. You also saw, going back to Banchero and everything, at one point they doubled him a little bit, forced the ball out of his hands. It forced the Magic to take a timeout. And then other times they were like, "Nah, you can just do your thing, man." And he just went and completely burned the team. I think he had 29 points in that game. Why are they just, there just doesn't seem to be a plan to what they're doing. And that's kind of the frustrating thing. Willie Green's kind of putting his guys out there on the court, and that's just not good enough right now. Why are you sometimes doubling Banchero, but sometimes not doubling Banchero? And the times you don't do it, he very clearly burns you. So it seems prudent to do that more often. They're not doing things like that. So it's like one mistake that keeps compounding on another, that can compounds on another. And it's kind of this just vicious circle that it's going to take the head coach needing to break. And he seems to be unwilling to do that right now.
Right. And another thing that also drives me crazy, and I was hoping for the trade deadline to make a move of some sort. And I know guys' names have been heard, but I feel like we need a true point guard in Washington. We don't really have a true point guard in Washington. And I was hoping we could have made some kind of a move at the trade deadline to get that, and we obviously didn't. Is that a position that you would like to see? Or if not, what trade move were hoping to see other than the one we got?
Yeah, I think a point guard would be fine. I think you need another kind of creator, whether that's a true point guard a la Chris Paul and a guy that pulls the strings, or if it's just an instant offense kind of guy, and that could be on the wing too. I think either one is kind of what you need. They're playing 2-on-5 offensively right now. You have CJ and Brandon Ingram, and then three guys that the defense just doesn't respect whatsoever. And one of those guys might even be Jonas Valanciunas, because they just don't get him the ball, and he's an afterthought in everything that they're doing offensively right now. So you needed another guy that at least gets you playing 3-on-3 or 3-on-5 on offense instead of 2-on-5. So, it's something like that, right? You just need another credible offensive threat, whether that's a passer, whether that's a connector, whether that's a scorer, whether that's a creator, whatever it is. You need one of those archetypes out there on the court beyond just being a spot up 3-point shooter, unless it's a super high volume guy. But you have that in Trey Murphy, who's buried on the bench. So that would have been a good thing to do, and on my show in the lead up to the trade deadline, I had been talking a lot about the Pelicans' future salary cap concerns and the luxury tax potentially, because they're projected to be into it. So them kind of making that move for Josh Richardson, which was as much of a salary dump as it was bringing in Josh Richardson, didn't surprise me. And I think it's just kind of like a wake-up call to a lot of people to just how, unfortunately, sometimes small market teams have to operate in the NBA that don't have tons of money coming in like a New York team would, like an LA team would. And it's just kind of one of those sobering facts you have to accept that sucks. Gail Benson should be spending the money, but in reality, she's not going to be. So it's just, that's kind of, I think, what you saw ended up happening at the trade deadline. And I hope, if we're trying to be optimistic about it, that they feel they can get a better target and go after a better type of player this offseason, when there weren't a ton of guys truly that you would have wanted to have made a huge difference. Gary Trent Jr. was never going to be available from the Raptors. You could have overpaid for Bogdanovich from the Detroit Pistons, but on the wrong side of 30 and making $20+ million, I don't know if that's the guy that you want to go, 15-20 million into the luxury tax for. Malik Beasley was a guy they definitely talked about alongside Jared Vanderbilt. That offer didn't end up getting accepted. So they tried to do certain things. I hope it's more of, okay, there was no reason to spend just to spend right now, that they're planning on kind of doing something this offseason. But you can very clearly see they have to do something this offseason, especially if you don't feel you're going to get, 80% of the season from Zion Williamson or Brandon Ingram with the amount of time that those guys miss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Pelicans fan. I'm actually a Warriors fan, have been since 2012. But hey, I'm not a bandwagon.
Oh, shocking when they got good, right? Like, oh my God.
Hey, Harrison Barnes fan, and then he made me a Warriors fan. I swear. You can ask this man.
Okay.
It's a factual statement. It is.
Yeah, I just got really lucky.
Yeah, you did.
Well, for 1 year.
Yeah. But I was trying to talk to these guys. I'm like, to make the Pelicans a real legitimate contender, in my opinion, I think in the future you've got to see a closing lineup that involves Zion at the 5 and BI at the 4. And then around them, you bring in shooters, 3-and-D type guys. Josh Richardson he's along that lines, but he's probably about as basic as you can get. I mean, he plays defense well. He shoots the 3 well. But I think a guy like, Beasley can really shoot it. He can't really play defense, but I think that's what the Pelicans need to try to go after in the offseason. Would you disagree with that? Or
not necessarily. I think, okay, I'll put it in your terms, right? Like they want to try and find their own death lineup with the Warriors. And that's much easier said than done. And I talked about this off season, right? The key to that is how do you guard opposing centers at that point? And what worked for that Warriors team was Draymond Green being able to do that. And then the switchability too. And you see the Pelicans run a very similar defensive scheme to what that Warriors team did, which was switch 1 through 5. Draymond Green on a point guard, cool. Draymond Green on a center, cool. On a wing, no problem. Zion's going to get torched if he's on a point guard. He can handle some centers. On the wing, it's going to be iffy. He's been good defensively this year when he's played, but I don't think he's ready to do something like that. Now, you might have a guy on the roster that can do some of that, though, while still giving you enough shooting, and that's Trey Murphy. You know, at 6'10", if he bulks up a little bit, might be able to guard opposing centers, can switch probably 2 through 5, something along those lines. He's not ready to take on that role just yet. They've tried to do kind of similar things like that with Larry Nance Jr. He's just not quite the shooter you need, but there's some ability to shoot from the perimeter, and he's a good switchable defender. That's why you've seen them close with him over Jonas Valanciunas. So in some combination, the closing lineup I think that they ideally view is Larry Nance Jr. out there, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and then that fifth guy is kind of really the question. It probably should be Trey Murphy. And you get shooting in BI in CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy out there, switchability. I think that can be enough to make it work, but it's going to be tough to basically put Zion and 4 shooters out there unless you find a Brook Lopez kind of guy who could do something like that. But that guy's not going to be available, and that's not the type of guy that they're going to be able to go and get. So I love the idea of it. You're not wrong on that, and that lineup would be crazy good. I just don't know how actually feasible it is to kind of find the type of player that necessarily unlocks that if Trey Murphy's not ready to go and do that yet, and he certainly isn't.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think it would bring upon is Zion's our 5, and he probably can't guard your Embiid or your even a Valanciunas type guy.
But ain't nobody stopping him.
But on the other end, is Zion going to be able to go and just do whatever he wants on him? So you kind of just get into a standoff of are you going to make the move to go small, or are you going to make the move to go big? And so that's what I think is very interesting about that. But yeah, and a Trey Murphy or a Herb Jones not taking a regression as he has this year, that kind of just freak athlete piece is very, very, it definitely help out.
Yeah, look, Zion's a tough player to almost build lineups around because of just how unbelievably talented he is. When you look at the way that he scores at the rim at a near 65 to 70%, that's the equivalent of a guy shooting 47% from 3. So if you're just going based on playing percentages, right, you're going to double team Zion at the rim and leave an open shooter. I remember 2-3 years ago, I went on a Philadelphia 76ers podcast, and they asked me a question, and this is where people tend to overthink things, and it made me laugh. So they were like, so how did the Philadelphia 76ers try and guard Zion and wall him off from the rim while also covering, a guy like JJ Redick out there on the perimeter? And I was like, the answer is you just leave JJ Redick open. Even though he's an amazing shooter, even at 40%, that's a less efficient shot than letting Zion get to the rim completely uncontested and just doing his thing. So you need to bring in shooters that are going to be reliable enough to make teams pay for consistently doubling or triple teaming Zion Williamson. And those, getting 4 of those out on the court at the same time is not just a thing you can totally do. And that's what makes this kind of tough, is that Zion is so generational. Teams are going to put 3 guys on him. And unless you have other guys that are really going to burn teams, BI does it, CJ does it, but you still need to fill out 2 more roster spots with that, or 2 more, lineup spots with that. And that can be tough, especially if you still want to have a balanced team with it. So it puts the Pelicans in a bit of an awkward spot, but that's a good problem to have, and just tells you how good Zion Williamson is.
Yeah, definitely.
I miss JJ.
He's a Duke
some
fan
people
over
do,
here,
some people don't. Okay.
That's the only reason I'm watching the Pelicans now. I'm not going to lie, is because they were basically Duke South for a little while there with JJ, BI, and Zion all together that year.
Oh, and Frank Jackson.
Frank Jackson was there. Yeah.
Frank Jackson. Don't forget Trajan Langdon too, the GM, the Alaskan assassin.
We actually met him at a game in Dallas, I want to believe.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't even
met
know
him. Yeah. It was the game I went to go see JJ play in, and he was hurt.
Yeah, his back was hurt.
Yeah.
We know you don't have a lot
he got
of time
old
tonight,
fast.
but yeah. To kind of just go away from Pelicans a little bit. Okay, yeah.
What draft pick's going to be better, ours or the Lakers?
Ooh. Look, the news that LeBron's going to be out for at least 2 weeks basically just tanks their season. So like we got a little lucky on that one for the Pelicans. So I still think they'll end up executing that pick swap, have the Lakers, and hopefully it'll end up being a lottery pick, which it looks like right now. I'll trust Anthony Davis to carry that team for minimum of 2, potentially to 4 weeks. No, it's a swap. They'll get the better of the 2.
I didn't know that. Well, that sucks.
I'm hoping more like, is Zion going to be hopefully the next in the league where he was injured for the first 2 or 3 years and then all of a sudden he just got healthy and stays healthy? What's the feeling like?
That's what you're hoping for, right?
Yeah.
I don't want him to play again.
It's what you're hoping for.
Put him on the bench.
I think they're going to try and play him again. I think they're going to try and play him. It's a hamstring. He wants to play. You know, when you look at all of his injuries, right? Like none of them are the same thing. The foot that kept him out all of last year is held up this year. That's a great sign. You know, he tore meniscus in his knee his rookie year. That hasn't happened again. It's just all different things. But hopefully he ends up being healthy.
Yeah. But to just kind of transition into an overall perspective of the NBA, hot topic right now, load management. Do you have any input on that or any thoughts of how you think the league is going right now, I guess?
I mean, look, the NBA still popularity is an all-time high, but you can definitely see concerns of people traveling or paying a lot of money and not being able to see, you know, their favorite players or, you know, the draw to go out to a game. And like, that's a problem. It's like, yeah, exactly. Right. Like if you go to Dallas or something, it's a problem. That's something they really need to try and figure out. There's not an easy solution to that. And it simply might be, you've got to play, you know, 70% of the games. Otherwise they start prorating your money. And as they start to head towards a renegotiation of the collective bargaining agreement, that I think is going to be a big sticking point. And that's something that could hold it up. And maybe we end up in like another lockout situation like we have in the past. Hopefully we avoid that, but that needs to be kind of number one to make this really kind of more in favor of the fans and something they've definitely gotten away from.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to. I mean, we've had many group discussions in our group messages about this. You know, I feel like some of it is probably management that's pushing it. You know, wanting the guys rest. Analytics got so much involved now. You know, they're seeing the numbers like that. But I mean, I actually heard something today, and I want to say, I think I was listening to Colin Cowherd. I'm pretty sure it's who I was heard on. They actually ordered discussions. Rick Bucher, I think, was with them.
Oh, yeah. Always.
And they made a good point. Said, why don't you make the games 40 minutes?
Oh.
Maybe back down the minutes some. And instead of doing, say, 82 to 72 games, everybody's worried about the history and stuff like that. Yeah. Minutes will still affect it some, but you're not taking away as much. The franchises are still getting the money for ticket sales. They're still, you know, all that kind of stuff.
And you'd start to see players play all 40 in a game too.
I think you would. I think you'd see them playing more.
Come playoff time for sure.
Yeah. You can. Yeah, like LeBron would play 40 with them Cavs.
Like I remember Jimmy Butler not like coming out the game when he was with Philly.
Oh, he'd play 48. Jimmy Butler don't care.
Yeah.
But I mean, something like that, I could see maybe be a good thing to lean for because something's got to change. I mean, it's getting every year. It's worse and worse.
No, that's a, you know, honestly, almost like a great option. I don't know if that would still necessarily stop it, right? Just like I don't know if even shortening the NBA season would prevent load management, right? If you dropped it down to 66 games, would that end up fixing this problem where guys just play 40 games and that's that. And you mentioned a really good point, though, of all that lost gate revenue. And look, they're all trying to make money out here, so they don't want to look at options like that. Shortening games by a little bit maybe could do something like that. And it would be fun to see how many guys would end up playing like all 40 minutes in a game, or at least do that once a season or something like that. Because, you know, some guys, Jimmy Butler is like salivating at this idea and being like, I'm just going to play all 40 in all of them. So it's a fun idea. That's really intriguing and not something that I had heard about or thought about before, but I don't hate that at all. Like, I think that could be a good solution.
Yeah, that's definitely a very interesting idea.
It caught my ear. I was tuned in when they were talking about that. Makes sense.
I mean, they do it in college.
That's exactly right.
You know,
that's my first thought.
College to NFL is the same number of minutes.
Yeah.
Why would it have to be different for basketball? You know?
Do you have any other questions?
I know he's got to go. So I mean, we'll keep it short.
So I guess we'll get two predictions from you. What's the Pelicans, I guess, situation at the end of the year, record-wise, or play in, playoff, out, whatever, and who do you think is in the NBA Championship and the winner?
I think I'm going to be optimistic here. I think the Pelicans have to get into the postseason through the play-in tournament. I think they're going to finish as the 7th seed, so they only need to win 1 game out of 2 chances, which gives them a pretty good spot to be in, I think. And honestly, for the championship, that's going to be tough. I think either in the West, I'm going to probably go with the Phoenix Suns. They get Kevin Durant back on Wednesday night tonight. I'm very curious to see how that's going to go. And that's just so much talent that I'm going to hate that team. And then on the other side, I'm going to go with Boston. I think they've really figured some things out. They've got a good new head coach in there for the 2nd year in a row. They are so deep. I think that's going to carry them in the postseason. I think they're going to win the Eastern Conference Finals in like 7 games over the Bucks, and it's going to be an awesome series.
That's going to be an awesome series.
It's going to be an awesome series. And I'm going to be so annoyed then when Phoenix probably ends up winning the NBA title.
Nope. I can't see Chris Paul win a championship. I don't care. I don't need that. Or
don't want to live in that world.
Nope. Wrong answer, because the Warriors are winning it all. But yeah. Anything else y'all got to say?
Hey, just let them get in, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, when Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green start and play every game, we've never lost a series. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. All right. Well, this is awesome. Great interview. Learned some stuff. Yeah. And got some of our thoughts, I guess, confirmed from someone that knows a little more than us. So. All right. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you to Jake Madison for the awesome interview. Had a great time talking some Pels, some NBA talk, his career. Just really good interview. Laid back guy.
Good dude, seems like, man.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Crazy going from Los Angeles. Yeah, oh, me too. I know. I wish.
We could have went into depth with a lot more things.
Absolutely.
He came for the gumbo.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Los Angeles.
Oh, Kyle's here.
Tulane. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, what up, guys?
His prediction for the championship's wrong, but we'll get into that later. This episode, though, we got the interview that just happened. We're going to get into some NFL talk. There's been some cuts, rumors, stuff like that.
Restructuring of contracts.
Yeah, the Saints specialty. Then we'll get into NBA talk, finally. My God, I'm ready to talk basketball.
Please, I'm ready.
Then we're going to do a Dirty Five of NBA Championship Contenders. Yeah. I think that's going to be a very interesting list. Might not be too different amongst us, but we'll see.
Before we get started, shout out to Louisiana Tech baseball for taking down number 4 Ole Miss 6-5.
Defending champs, right?
Defending national champs.
Yeah.
And
that's why LSU didn't schedule us.
Louisiana Tech has just got a thing for Ole Miss. They shouldn't schedule us in anything.
SEC's scared of Tech.
Was that last year we beat them? Beat them and Arkansas?
And LSU.
Yeah.
And LSU?
Yeah.
But you got to think, because
we kicked off our best player.
Me following LSU all the time, man. Them midweek games though, man. They don't care. They don't give a crap about them. They don't mind losing.
But they're still
scheduled Tech for a weekend. I mean,
they're still
at this point.
Yeah, I mean.
So
didn't they play?
Tech plays.
So
Arkansas
what did their
for a weekend this year?
Yeah, I mean Tech's at that point where they could be a weekend series.
What did their outfielder do? Their center fielder that got kicked
McConnell
out?
got no idea. We don't know yet.
Nothing.
I'll tell you, I think he was knocking boots with Burrows' daughter if he has one.
If he has one.
I don't know if he has one. Y'all saw the interview. He looked pissed.
Yeah, he wasn't very. He didn't seem
he
like.
always looks pissed if we're being
he didn't
honest.
seem like he was open to conversation about him coming back.
It didn't feel like it was a grade thing.
No.
You're not on the rumor mill over there at Tech, Clay? You haven't heard
I ain't
anything?
been building in a week.
Okay. Where's Bill at
He's
when
off
we need
staff
him?
now.
Yeah.
Bill said he was going to ask his source, but I don't think he ever did.
Yeah, I don't. Well, we haven't heard.
We ain't talked to
Bill might know.
Bill, if you're listening, I
Find
wrote you
out.
some little notes and
Any anonymous tips, send it to dirtybootsports@gmail.com.
We'd love to know.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get going,
maybe it's on
Duke is
Rustin
catching their
Rants.
stride in basketball right now.
I thought
So
they were
I'm not gonna
losing by
watch
like
out.
4 a while ago.
No, we just won our 6th.
Okay.
Row. We're catching our stride.
So is North Carolina.
I mean,
Let's do an ad read.
I don't want to say I'm about to put a future on them to win the Natty, but I might. You never know. Go Duke.
Let's do an ad read. ADS, Automotive Detailing Solutions, is not the usual car wash. ADS provides intricate detailing to groom your vehicle inside and out, focusing on quality over quantity. From carpet and seat extractions to paint polishing, ADS strives to be Jackson Parish's premier automotive detailer. Contact Matthew Smith at 318-475-9492. Add us on Facebook, or just ask the guys from Dirty Boot Sports about their ADS experiences.
I need to take my wife's car to see Matt.
You need to talk into the mic more.
This mic's low for some reason for me.
I think you're just
I
not
can't
talking.
talk much louder than this, or else I'm gonna be borderline yelling.
Ooh,
There you
that's
go.
better.
Is that better?
I just turned it up.
Look,
Yeah.
Matt and his
I-
wife are like OCD about like getting that dirt out. Like it's ridiculous.
They do a phenomenal job, and I'm not even joking.
They'll do before and after pictures, and
It's alarming.
and look,
yeah,
I've got
crazy.
kids, and I know that they get buck wild back there, but man, some of them before pics,
You
they
don't
should
get
be
buck wild back there
ashamed.
no more.
No. My parents bought me a single cab truck when I was a kid. Prevent that. So, good thing.
Duke is plus 30,000. That's not Duke. That's Drake. Never mind.
Oh, I was about to
Take
say,
that.
I'm
Take
putting
it.
some
Take
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
Duke's plus 5,000 to win it all.
Also,
I might
shout
put a
out,
tenner on
shout
that.
out to Kyle Terrell and this little piggy.
Yeah.
He's going to be set up tomorrow. We'll have an ad read come from him in the next couple weeks or so. Go support there.
We're taking some business cards there tomorrow.
Yeah,
right,
I plan
Clay?
to. I plan to. Yeah, so get on some barbecue.
We need to give them like a banner
food.
to put up in there.
Yeah, we love food.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hitting all the corners with that. So we got barbecue sauce. Now we just got a straight up barbecue truck. So,
Yeah. Coming up in the world, baby.
yeah, yeah. Next is hot rods.
Yeah, we're gonna have our own
I mean,
restaurant.
my boss at work, that's her uncle.
Yep.
So
Here we go.
There you go.
How about that crawfish shack, Peyton?
Oh.
The tails and shells or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know who owns that.
I thought don't you know the people?
Before.
Oh, they changed.
They changed.
Oh,
yeah.
crap.
have y'all seen the drama about the scales from the place in town?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
But I will say you can tear a scale and put mess with the weight. So may not
They're
be
certified.
official.
They said. Certified.
Yeah, it may not be.
That was a pound and a half off on one of the pictures. It's like
Wasn't even
3.2.
close.
It's supposed to be a
Wasn't even
5-pound bag.
Speaking of crawfish, best crawfish around here, go to Winfield. Get south
they
on
open?
167. Yes, they're open. South on 167. You go across some railroad tracks right outside Winfield. You'll see the line in the middle of the intersection.
Hey,
Not
we
intersection,
we
middle
had
of the
that.
highway.
We had the crawfish shack or whatever it was called. It was good.
The
Crawfish
best
basket.
food in
basket.
Winfield is like drive by. Like you don't even get to go sit down there.
I don't think they have sit down
Grand
restaurants.
Adams.
Yeah.
They
They have El Patio.
Jonesboro
That's
has
it,
more,
right?
more than Winfield. Yeah, they have a good barbecue place too, though, called Rafe's.
Okay. Let's get into this though. NFL.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr
He's
is
gonna be a Saint.
A hot topic.
He's going to Indianapolis to interview, not to be a quarterback apparently, but he's interviewed with the Saints, as everyone knows. Then interviewed with the Jets
and re-interviewing with the Saints again.
Yeah.
This week some point.
Yeah, he's going to the combine.
Right.
And he's going to meet
Colts. You said
he's going to Indianapolis.
He is. He's going.
Yeah.
He's meeting them at the combine.
Here's the thing, though.
That's
If
the week I had that went over my
if
head.
Jim Irsay likes him, he'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
him.
that's
He'll
true.
back up the truck.
That's true.
For him.
Yeah,
He's white.
He'll pay him.
He's white and
He'll let him
old.
call his own plays if he wants to.
Yeah.
White and above 30. I mean, he's
Yeah.
Ursay,
And a statue.
Ursay's going to be aggressive.
he
in the
doesn't get
drafts.
hurt enough though.
They're drafting one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Will Levis.
That would be
Also, the
horrible.
Panthers. The Panthers are supposed to meet with them. That's my take on who.
Nobody
I think's
wants to
gonna get
play
them.
for the Panthers.
I think everyone does now.
But I don't.
I think the Panthers are the one team in the NFC South people do want to play for right now.
Why?
They're doing everything right, and you saw with last year after
How
they
doing
fired.
everything right though. They got to prove that. They haven't proved anything. They just come off another terrible year.
Yeah.
Was it terrible though? I think they kind of They after they fired their head coach, it was a success.
They were still below 500.
Well, who wasn't in the NFC South?
We were all terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
But
the Saints have the best quarterback in the division right now, though. So hey, pump the brakes.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota got cut today too.
They really do. Like it's kind of crazy to think.
Dalton ain't a Saint yet. Oh, Taysom.
Tay, man, he is. I mean, think about it. Who's
Who
better
else
than
is
him
there?
right now?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Who's better than him right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
I think the Panthers are. I think they're on the come up though. I really do.
I mean, they're.
I hope you're wrong.
I do
not
too.
want to see that
I do
again.
too. But I just really
Take
feel
me back
that
to Cam Newton's days when he could,
I feel they're going to make a move either for like Carr or they're going to draft a Stroud, something like that. I don't know. Big time owner, one of the richer in NFL. I believe he's like top 3, top 2. Got the money, got the staff now. Making good moves off the field. He's got to make the good moves on the field. We'll see how it plays out.
Does Aaron Rodgers go to the Jets?
Hey, I think that's going to happen.
That feels like a thing.
I don't know.
Have y'all?
I don't know.
think
It's
it's
weird.
I don't think the Packers want him.
I don't think he goes nowhere.
I think it's he don't play or he plays for the Jets.
I think he said he is playing football.
Yeah, he came out of his darkness retreat and said that. Have y'all seen the the pictures of that thing?
Yeah.
Have you seen the guys from YouTube that went and did it?
No.
This is the YouTube channel called Yes Theory. They do a bunch of weird crap like that where they push
Yes,
their limits
guys,
and stuff.
yeah, I've seen that.
And this one dude from them went and they set up cameras and stuff, and then like in the corners, some scary looking stuff, dude.
I'm just mad
The
that
human mind isn't made for that, though. It's not.
the first night he slept for 16 hours because
How
his
does he
body
know?
had no idea. They had a camera in there.
Oh.
And they timed it. He slept for 16 hours.
I'm just mad that I didn't come up with that. You know how much easy money that is? That's
Yeah.
like stealing. I mean, really. I mean, all you do is build a little room.
Well, Peyton, you could do it. I mean, if you wanted to.
Yeah. I don't live in Oregon. Where
Hey,
the weird people live
we're-
at. That's
Dude,
where they're at.
Jack
You'd
Parrish's
be
first one.
surprised how many weird people are around here. Hey, you could do that and then also have a room with like isolation tanks. Have you ever seen those?
Yes.
Is that when you lay in it flat?
So here's the concept on that. It's soundproof. The room's soundproof. The water is the same temperature as your skin body temp.
You just float, right?
And and it's got the salt content to help you float. So the idea is you get in there and like you just feel like you're floating.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in there for X amount of time. But honestly, there's no way I would do the darkness thing that Aaron Rodgers did. He probably saw Satan in there. But
he didn't see him in there. He might have thought about him.
he probably met him in there. But the detox thing, that would be kind of cool just to, unplug for a little while, for an hour or two,
Yeah.
Yeah, they say once you're in there for so long, like you start having like
hallucinations.
basically.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not.
And
no
like
bueno.
you have to eat in the dark, and we can turn on the light if you want to, But you eat in the dark, you bathe in the dark, you walk around in the dark.
It's 4 days.
4 days.
Why not just fast during that time?
They do have,
and not bathe.
there is candles in there.
There is a candle.
Mm-hmm.
One candle you get. Yeah.
Even if you're sitting still in the dark, you're still gonna get funk after a day or two.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but who cares? No one's going to smell you.
Well, you're so bored, you can't just sit there and be occupied. Like the guy was doing yoga and stuff. He was walking around doing push-ups. You're gonna do something to make the time pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He also does the ayahuasca, where
he's a weird guy.
It's right up his alley.
Yeah, weird guy.
I've met some people who have done that, like in person, and man, just you can find Jesus on any street corner, any church. There's Bibles everywhere.
Just go to a hotel.
Just try that, man.
Yeah.
Pick up a Bible.
Yeah, the Rodgers situation, though, I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen there. I don't think the Packers know. I don't think Rodgers knows. I don't think anyone knows. We'll see. I don't really think he's going to end up being a Packer again. I think they're going to go the Jordan Love route.
Good luck.
I really do. But
I think Packers front office is just tired of the drama.
I do too.
I saw a tweet from somebody.
I would take,
and they're not winning anything.
I would
the
take
way they're playing.
I would take the drama over Jordan Love.
I think they're just
they've been
tired
lucky
of him.
for the last 40 years.
I think they have Aaron Rodgers fatigue almost at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
it's the same old every year now, like past 3 or 4
and
years.
I agree, and I understand. I know it's terrible, but be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, but think of where we were at with Drew Brees at the very, very end.
Yeah,
still wish we would have cut the cord.
And look at where we're at now.
Yeah, no,
we
there's no doubt.
Been there
but
2 years early.
But it's coming regardless.
We would have been there miserably.
It's coming regardless, though. It's coming.
We could be coming out of it, though.
Yeah, but
too.
I mean, we still feel like there are probably a few players away they can make a run at the Super Bowl. Still, look at the NFC.
They're
It's
running
terrible.
into some money problems though. They've got some guys that are going to be
absolutely.
probably cut because
and they don't draft
they went
weapons.
all in on defense yet, and they don't draft well.
That's your organization. You got to bring somebody in that can do that. I mean, it's not.
It's not an Aaron Rodgers problem.
No,
I'm just saying that they just don't jive with Aaron.
Yeah, but he's not helping the problem.
It's also, hey, Green Bay, it's time to go get some free agents. Quit being so kind of, I don't know.
Well, they've got him on defense.
It's hard to sign them though. I mean,
they've got a running back now that they've paid running back money
play with Aaron Rodgers. Not a lot of people.
And he also demands these random guys like Alan Lazard. He wants him back, and he has to make a decent amount of money. So
because he's going to do whatever.
That's
Aaron
taking
says.
away money from everyone else. Like whenever you say, "Hey, I want Alan Lazard back, or I'm going to be pissed off,"
we better have Randall Cobb.
Yeah, yeah. So that's 2 wide receivers you just spent probably $8 million on, and you're already paying a running back top end money. You're already paying Rodgers $50 million.
Okay, Rodgers is getting 50.
50.
Okay. Because nobody's even mentioned him in New Orleans.
Oh,
because it's 50.
No shot he's coming down.
Yeah.
What's Lamar's rate? We're on 40.
Free agent.
40.
Apparently, it can work. It's going to be a lot, but I mean, people are saying that the Saints, which the Saints have cap magic, they can make 40 pop up out of nowhere somehow.
I
heard
think
we're about to be in the green in cap space.
And I know they just did something with Tyron.
they said they've got enough cap space to sign Derek Carr right now.
I've seen that they have enough to
will be that much
sign.
more.
I saw that they can sign Lamar.
I would go with Lamar,
Absolutely.
but I don't.
Clay
I
would
don't
sell
think
his
that's.
soul for Lamar.
I know.
I would have sold a first-round draft pick for him too, and we got
We have talked about giving up a testicle on this podcast before. Is that safe to say that would be one?
If Saints,
that would be
if the Saints,
I think Vrabel said he'd cut off the tip of his penis.
If the Saints
to win the Super Bowl,
get Lamar Jackson, I'll do some type of task. I don't know. Y'all come up with it. I'll do it. I don't know.
Go to a darkness retreat.
I'll do it.
If they get Lamar, we got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you got to do the whatever challenge.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Cool.
Do that for free.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll do it. I'm in.
Yeah, I think that would be the best case scenario for the Saints. But will it happen?
Second best Baker Mayfield,
man.
Baker Mayfield
tagged by the Ravens.
I think
Baker
so too.
Mayfield's still a possibility.
I think Lamar's getting tagged.
Harbaugh ain't gonna let him walk.
He can get tagged, but is he gonna play?
That'd be dumb on him if he didn't.
His PR. What could you say?
He needs
how he's viewed in the public. It would hurt him so much if he did that.
Yeah,
and I think we all can agree on that.
And he might need.
But everyone knows that there's other teams that will take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
At some point, do the Ravens
you know how
they can't tag him back-to-back years, right? If he was to sit out,
there's weird ways.
Would he
to
be
get around
out?
crap like they have like a transition tag and stuff that they probably can.
They could hold him,
but at that point, you're just pissing off your quarterback.
Yeah.
I think at some point they're just going to make the decision of we're going to pay this man what he wants, or we're just going to trade him, get a lot back, figure something out.
Yeah.
And if there's a time to do that, it's probably this year. You've got quarterbacks that Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo,
Ryan
Tannehill, guys like that are good enough to come in and give you a solid play at quarterback.
Mariota didn't look bad last year.
I mean, Mariota would be a very good Raven.
Yeah.
Think about it. Doesn't throw the ball.
But they do have a Pro Bowler as a backup. Just
That's very true. That's very true. Very true.
Mickey Mouse
Like, does that
Pro
go
Bowler.
on his resume?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Anything else with the quarterback situations? Any comments?
Zach Wilson, is he done?
Oh God,
I'll take him to New Orleans.
We haven't heard about that.
No, the Jets want to keep him.
The Jets still believe in him.
They still believe in him. If they bring
They
Rodgers
still believe
in,
him, they
they won't Zach Wilson be the backup.
Moscano was on today. He was like going crazy on that. And he was like, he's a second round pick because he threw a ball 50 yards against his body, against the air. And I was like, I saw that throw. I'm not going to lie. I was excited about it. And I don't know if I would have drafted him 2 overall because of that throw, but it was
like the Johnny Manziel Pro Day.
Mm-hmm.
He probably had the same guy go in there and orchestrate it.
Could the Raiders
Winfield guy
get Rodgers? I mean, is that out of the possibility?
No, it's not.
That just feels like a Davis move.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
Brady's
Jimmy G is going to be a Raider. That's where I think Jimmy G goes.
Yeah, they like him over there.
I saw today where they're
Jimmy G feels like he likes that environment too.
Porn stars.
I saw today where that the Raiders are starting to get aggressive and trying to trade up. So there might be somebody they're eyeing.
Anthony Richardson.
That's who I thought. That's really who I
think we should talk about that too.
He's
Yeah,
about to become a stud in about 3 years. Hope everybody knows that.
He's about to be a millionaire.
It's gonna happen.
he's gonna be a millionaire.
Wait till this week when he's in his shorts and his t-shirt and he's out there swinging.
He's number 1 on my board.
Does he go the route though of like Lamar and them and don't run? I wouldn't. Run.
I don't think people are looking at him honestly.
Ain't been saying for him to change the position.
No, they really
Which
haven't.
is also weird.
I mean, if he can run,
Lamar was 1,000 times better at quarterback than him in college. But
yeah,
they're like, Lamar, you need to change positions. You know, that's weird to me.
well
what's his size?
Well, he's huge.
Like 6'4", 230.
Yeah, he's huge.
I mean, a tight end.
Well, it's because
same thing Tebow should have known.
Megatron did it. Why not?
Two things. One thing on that chance though is, with all these rule changes, keep every year the running quarterbacks is they're able to. They can do it easier.
That's
now.
almost a safer pick nowadays.
Yeah, because
you can do more things.
You can do more things with them now.
And if he can't throw the ball, he can run it.
And then, hey,
but it's not like a pocket passer where if he can't throw the ball, he can't do anything.
Give me that rookie
like
contract.
Malik Willis. Didn't look good, but he was able to play for a little bit.
Yeah, for a little.
Yeah, and
give me that rookie contract. We'll run him into the ground in 4 years if we have to. You know, let's try to make a run at this thing and see what we can do with him.
Use him in a gadget situation, maybe.
And to me, like
that's how the Ravens used Lamar for the first year. Or
to me,
10 games.
That unless you're gonna go get like a sure enough, like you're gonna go pull off Aaron Rodgers or something like that.
Like next year.
Yeah, I mean, what have you got to lose? Going and getting a quarterback that's just middle of the road is not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Nope. No.
Trent Dilfer ain't going to do it no more.
Atlanta drafting what's his face at Cincinnati,
Ritter.
Like that.
Yeah,
that's getting you nowhere, guys.
Yeah,
that's going to be a career backup for next.
And I thought he would work in the NFL, but he also didn't go to the best situation.
Well, people said that he looked better at the end, but he's not going to turn into anything. Really.
In the words of our
Nothing
second
jumps
favorite
out.
Mormon, Steve Young, it gets you nowhere. It's like kissing your sister.
Yep. I mean, it is.
Speaking of that, I missed last week.
We don't have a sister.
I missed last week because of I was at the Tech and BYU game. I will say that some of the Tech fans that are teenagers, college students, they made some funny comments. Very, very Dirty Boot Sports like.
Well, we should have them on.
No, we shouldn't. They were just being jerks, kind of offering up food after Tech beat them. Like they were like, "Oh, we got some leftover chicken. You want it?" If one would say yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, never mind. We just lost. Like we just ran out." Stuff like that. And then one asked something about, I don't know if they could fit that on their bike, or or how many bikes did y'all bring? That'd be a lot for a full team. And just they were mentioning bikes, and I was like,
Yeah.
Did anybody mention the magic underwear?
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah, that's a kicker for me. It's the undies.
Yeah, that was I felt at home as I was going. So, Carson Wentz cut a lot of money.
$26 million.
Yep.
Saved on the couch.
A lot of money saved.
You think that was a hard decision?
But that's the easiest cut of all time, honestly.
Absolutely.
They're going with the engineer.
Yeah.
Sam Howell, yeah.
The presumed number 1 pick 3 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, people said he was the next Baker.
Y'all remember that? Man?
Heisman final. I mean, he was supposed to. I mean, he was.
Did he play it all? Did he play it all this year?
Last game,
played the very last game.
And
how did he look?
Not bad,
not terrible.
I heard he impressed in training camp.
He looked like he could handle himself. He looked serviceable.
Yeah. Speaking of like contracts and getting cut, the crap's up with Michael Thomas. Like, why haven't we heard about this?
I was going to ask that.
May 17th. I mean, March 17th is the last day.
What are we waiting on?
Really weird. Really weird.
Maybe we're going to wait till the 15th where
you don't
the New Year starts.
You don't think they're getting some trade calls, do you?
Do you think
maybe they're going to Indianapolis to talk about it?
Maybe.
Do you think that they're going to go to Indy? It may have an impact, but do you think maybe that they're trying to lure a quarterback with him still in the building?
But I don't know what they can
want to come there.
I don't know what they can do with that money though. That money's going to hamper any type of move you make.
But it's the same
because the way that they did it, where they did the bonus or whatever, to where it essentially made it to where they do it now, or I mean, it was almost like a no-brainer that they're cutting him whenever they made that move.
Yeah.
Which they might be able to restructure it another time.
Yeah.
And make it to where if we get a car or somebody that wants to come in, we can restructure it and make it more team friendly.
I'll tell you the scariest thing about it is like, do the Saints know what they're doing yet?
No, probably not.
That's what's scary. Yeah.
You know,
is Carr. I mean, is he? I don't feel like he's going for the money. Like I feel like he wants. He got tired. He wants to win.
Carr's a solid guy.
He's been at a crappy organization. He's going through all these coaches. I think he wants stability.
He's got money. His family's got money.
Exactly.
I think that's why I think he's going to be a Saint.
I think he wants to win. He doesn't feel New York at all. That feels
I
out of his element.
I really think he's going to be a Panther.
I think he looks at Carolina's like,
why would I do that to myself?
Yeah, I just left the organization.
Something I've heard about him is that he's very like religious.
He's very religious.
Very religious.
And did y'all know Frank Reich is like an ordained pastor?
I believe
I
it.
knew he was religious. I didn't know he was a pastor.
Yeah, and like I think his brother is too. So they're like, and it's also Carolina Sun Belt. I mean, Bible Belt.
Yeah.
New Orleans is too, but you're
Sin
also
City.
a freaking Bourbon.
I mean, our name is the Saints.
Yeah, but you're also on Bourbon Street. He might not. His car might not be there when he gets back.
Billy
You never
looks
know.
like the worst city
Billy
in the world right now.
Billy Graham's museum or whatever you want to say is in Charlotte. So I mean,
yeah. I've heard that whole culture would be very Derek Carr like. So
but guys, he's been in Vegas.
He has been, yeah.
Not my choice though.
He was in Oakland and then
That's very
Vegas.
true. That's, yeah.
Maybe he's just tired of black.
I mean, he did resign there. I mean,
Black.
What do you mean by that, Kyle?
Black and silver, black and gold.
Okay. So black and blue?
Yeah, that's true.
Jets.
I do not see him in the New York media. Like that
no.
does not feel
I don't
right
see that
at
at
all.
Does he look like a Neanderthal to y'all?
Yeah.
He's very caveman-like
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Neck beard.
It's the guy liner that it looks like he.
Yeah,
wears.
that's true.
That's
That's
what it is, man. Them eyes, dude.
So
His
outside
brother-
of the Jets, Saints, Panthers, anyone else?
No.
Like, why hasn't Tampa made a move?
That's what I was about to say. Tampa has like the best weapons you could want.
Kyle
for.
Trask, man, they're sold on him.
I'm not sure Tampa's got a lot of salary cap either, though.
They don't. They're in
gonna
a
get
bind.
rid of,
I think they're
Chris
in a.
Godwin,
I think
saw.
they're in a bind.
They're in
I
a
saw
bind.
They're rumored to get rid of Godwin
Because they went all in these last few years with Brady,
Yeah.
and should have done. I mean, but you know what's coming after that. I mean, I don't think they have the money to go after Derek Carr.
Did Derrick Henry sign with Seattle? Did I see that?
No.
Somebody sent me that.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
No.
Did
I
what?
guess that was fake.
Derrick Henry?
That's probably from Ballsack Sports.
Somebody sent me that in a message.
No.
Goof. Hey, Clay, we got a goal.
7? Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. You got those teams like Washington that feel like they need a quarterback, in Tampa and Atlanta, but you just don't know what they're going to do.
I felt like G was like a Tampa type place, but it sounds like Tampa's just like about to start cleaning house and starting over.
Yeah.
I think it's a rebuild.
Leonard Fournette's gone.
Come to Noah, buddy. Come on home.
I don't want
I
that.
don't really.
Washed.
But we need a running back.
But we don't need
We don't
him.
need
Kamara's
Fournette.
going
We
to
need
prison,
we need
so-
someone.
We need a running back.
We need someone not old.
We need a running back.
We can draft one.
I want
Speaking of
someone
draft,
plenty
new.
of running backs in
Do
the
y'all
draft.
do y'all get into like the Mel Kiper mock drafts and stuff?
No.
Y'all
I'm
read them?
more of a Tom McShay than I am.
But I mean, do you read them at least?
Yeah,
You look
yeah,
at
yeah.
it? Did you see who he mocked us today?
Bijan?
No. The tight end from Georgia, Washington.
Oh.
Sasquatch.
I read that and I'm like, okay, Mel, you look at our team and you think we need a tight end right now?
That's the usually when you draft a
Dude.
tight end, that's a team that's good. Just needs
Those
add a little.
Those mocks never taken any
No.
real consideration
No,
into the
but
Saints.
like you're supposed to be mock Jesus, you know, like you're supposed to be the guy for drafts, and you give us a tight end when you know good when we need a quarterback, which you're not going to get.
Dude,
there.
Mel
O-line,
Kiper's a
D-line,
bum.
linebacker kinda.
Buffalo and Kansas City are the type rosters that
They
like
can
we can
do
take
that.
a tight end. Yeah, like that's not us right now. We have a D line that's in shambles.
We're going to
Read
take
it
a
more on laugh.
prototypical defensive end from Canada.
He's gonna be raw,
4 rounds early.
We're going to take that Army guy.
Yeah,
and not be allowed to play.
Hey, in my
Or
Pro
let's get the
Football
O-lineman
Focus,
from North Dakota State. That
Hey,
ain't got no teeth.
I did a mock draft myself today on Pro Football Focus. Y'all know I love that. And I got the Army guy in the 3rd round.
Oh,
Hey, that's
I
there
don't
we
know
go.
if he's gonna be allowed to play.
No, he can. It's passed.
They passed.
They
the law.
passed it.
Good. Good.
Any other NFL news? I don't think so, really.
Bears. Dan Snyder said he will not sell the Redskins
He's
to
selling
the
them. Commanders.
to Jeff Bezos. because
Commanders.
He hates them.
Commanders.
Same thing.
The football team, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call them. I mean,
The red and yellow team.
Bears might be trading their pick. It's leaning that
I
way.
forgot about that. They're gonna
Combine
trade it.
this week, baby. Right?
Yep.
They'll trade it this week, I think.
comes the short shorts and the muscle shirts.
Can't
Let's
wait.
go.
Yeah,
Nothing makes me feel more manly.
Hey,
They're not even shorts. They're like underwear.
They're tights now.
I was
yeah.
listening to Granite Company a little bit this morning, and Jake had a good point. He was like, he was talking about the combine and wearing the shorts and all that. He's like, I'm okay with some of that. He said, but what I'm not okay with is I wanted to see the quarterbacks throwing pads.
Yeah,
he said because that's a difference. He's like,
yes, it is.
Why in the world are we not putting at least the quarterbacks putting in pads so they can throw it? I mean, yeah, it's going to look better when Anthony Richardson's out there and the muscles hurting, his arms are cut, and he's slinging it around.
Huge difference, and wide receivers catching with the helmet on.
Yeah,
like all that's completely different.
Things like that need to be changed because I mean, what are you learning from that?
I wonder if teams do stuff like that at like private workouts.
I bet they're not allowed to.
I don't think they
bet
are
the
either.
CBAs
They don't do it at pro
refuses
days
because that'd be technically practice.
Because I watch
You
LSU's
know?
pro days every year, and
Yeah.
it's the same. I mean, there's no difference.
It is hard. I used to steal wide receiver pads before my JV games because Shannon didn't come to any of that. So I would steal like some wide receivers pads and throw on those because I had big linebacker shoulder pads. You can't do it.
Yeah, you can't really move. your
Well,
arms
nowadays
and
people don't
shoulders
even really
much.
care about shoulder pads. So. Like it's getting
Yeah.
smaller and smaller.
Yes, the defensive ends probably don't wear them anymore.
Yeah.
What was that Bennett guy's name? He used to play for the Seahawks.
Stetson? No. Michael? Michael?
The DN, not the tight end.
Michael.
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, he's the one with the cop controversy.
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, we might see a Madden situation with the Bears. They might trade their pick and then trade their pick again, and just stockpile some draft picks, and that'd be
I'll
awesome.
fire up a franchise this week, and I'll come back to y'all.
Justin
with some.
Fields has been historically bad as far
Hey,
as like winning.
can I say I won a Super Bowl with the Saints? Took me. When was it? I drafted Caleb Williams then the next year, not his rookie year, so his sophomore year, we're getting a Super Bowl.
So 3 years from now?
Give me the reins. Yeah, I
I'll
got
take
this.
that.
Hey, can we all agree if this draft was next year with the Bears at number 1, they would take Caleb Williams in a heartbeat?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the only way though that we're gonna get Caleb Williams is if we sign Baker as our quarterback this whole season. I had to go there,
I'm all
Clay.
for Baker now.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It means you can't have your cake and eat it too, Clay.
I'm all for Baker now.
I hope we run the Wildcat all year. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, our defense is too good for us to ever get up there. We're gonna have to look out. We're gonna have to look
We'll
out
have
and
to
get
trade.
Lamar,
Yeah.
and because we passed on him years ago. Gosh, we were so close to Patrick Mahomes,
So close.
and could have had Lamar.
So close to Patrick Mahomes.
The whole world thought we were getting Lamar Jackson.
We should have.
Whole world.
That was Davenport, right?
Yeah, it was.
And y'all, no.
We hurt his family's feelings, man. They were 50 yards away from us, and we were not.
I don't
quiet.
feel bad for him. He made all that money, and he's a bum.
He's about to make more money.
He's about to make more money. He's going to get a good contract.
Yeah, just because of what his position says and what he weighs in his length.
athletic ability. Yeah, absolutely. He's about to get a contract.
Prototype.
Career sack.
Who's he gonna sign with?
Somebody stupid. Watch him go to Buffalo and be good.
I was about to say a Buffalo type team could sign him. And
Look at what CGJ did this year,
and probably would do well
away from us. I mean, even Eli Apple upped his game when he left.
Well, Gardner Johnson was
there. It is. That's so classic.
One of the worst day of my
man.
life. The day that the Saints lost everything.
I read an article where somebody just grasped like my feelings about the Saints in the draft, and it was like, yes, they have had success in the second and third round, but they continuously mess up the first round.
Besides Ramczyk and Lattimore, and those were two chalk picks.
Yeah. Well,
you had to take them.
Yeah, and it was either Lattimore or
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
No big deal.
And Ramczyk.
Well, Mahomes went before us.
I didn't even want
so-
Ramczyk. I was pissed. I wanted Reuben Foster, who went
Because
like the
we
pick
had
before.
Pete the year before, the 2 years before.
Reuben Foster was what, linebacker at
pick
Bama?
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have worked. He would have worked well in New
Did
Orleans,
he shoot
right?
somebody?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes.
He was the one that Nick Saban was like, he's not a model citizen, but he's a good ball player.
Yeah, like Saban even called him out. Like he's not.
Yeah.
Hey. No, nothing bad happens in Bama.
He wouldn't have made it.
No,
wrong place, wrong
they
time.
come to Monroe City Zoo.
wrong
place,
wrong time.
Just like Brandon Miller's deal.
That's it.
I mean, wrong place, wrong time.
And freaking Lattimore ended up with a gun charge.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
You're like, this dude plays for the freaking Saints.
The pat down for Brandon Miller, that crap was hilarious.
Oh my
it was
God.
hilarious.
Like,
He's been doing it all year.
yeah.
This walk on white kid over here.
Know your surroundings.
Yeah.
like, come on, dude.
Your 2K rating for awareness is going to be a 0.
that white kid's dad's probably his lawyer, so who knows?
The walk
that white kid's dad works at Mercedes-Benz in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, probably.
No, Dodge
Yeah.
dealerships, because that's all they get, Dodge Chargers over there.
Yeah. Let's move on to NBA, but before we do that, Dirty Boot Sports, we're gonna do another ad. Why'd I say our name? I don't know. I'm reading.
Plugging the name, baby.
Big Reed BBQ started as a family recipe in 1986. Our mild flavor is right on time, and our spicy is just enough heat. Owner Ken Reed and Director of Marketing Andre Leonard say you can get our sauce at Doug Damona Farm and Feed, Time to Shine Detail, the Salty Brahma, and Amazon.
Equipment store now is what I saw.
Yes, Handy Foods, yeah.
Yeah, which is down the road. So my next pork butt, my next set of ribs, will feature some Reed's barbecue sauce.
Heck yeah, I'm ready. Bring it on. Let's do NBA, though. How we going to get this going? Pels?
We talked about how the Pelicans suck.
Pelicans are done, huh?
Dame Lillard dropped 71 last night or the night before.
Yeah, a couple nights ago.
Let's talk about that.
I couldn't watch it. It was blacked out. Freaking Houston.
So there have been some interesting discussions about that this week.
Yeah.
You know, that was the 13th
talking about the Rockets'
70th point.
Oh, all time?
In all time. I think it was 13th, wasn't it?
I think he's 8th highest.
Right.
At 71.
I think there's been 13, 70 or more.
Probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And I was listening to something the other day, and they were like, should we be concerned that in all these years, we've had 2 in 1 year in the 70s?
Yeah. It's a weird discussion.
That's telling some way.
So I saw a stat today, and it said that the league leading scoring offense in 2011 was a point lower than the league lowest.
Right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the lowest in the league now is like 108, and the league highest then was 107.
Yeah. Oh, what was that game the other day? 170 something. I mean,
that's approaching our fantasy football numbers in our games.
Yeah, Kings Clippers second highest all time. But what was so interesting to look at that was if you looked at the other top 10 games, all of them but one was from the 80s.
Yeah,
which is like when everyone says was real basketball.
So I've never been they play defense back in the day.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. I watch NBA classics all the time on the NBA channel. They play games from the 70s and 80s and stuff. In the finals, the games are 120s to 120.
Yeah.
In the NBA finals, they weren't playing no defense there, and that's no 3-point line. I mean,
the low-scoring era came in like early 2000s and the 90s.
Yes.
And you could honestly say that was at a period where there was no, like, true stars. Like, the talent was kind of down.
It was down.
And it might have been a factor of the high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got, like, the Stephon Marburys coming in and the Steve Francis,
Kevin
guys like
Garnett's,
that
Kwame Brown.
that came in and...
Dude, Steve Francis was a G, though.
So was Stephon Marbury. So
Starberry, baby.
Still is.
He's a legend in China, okay?
Yeah.
He's got a freaking statue.
Ducks or something
But
like
those
that.
were the kind of guys coming in, and you think about the guys that ran that era, Tim Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, stuff like that. I just think we're in a league now that's just so talented. And
or was it the coaching then? Were the coaches more defensive minded then?
Maybe.
Coaches, yeah, and it's the style of play.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't jacking up threes left and right. I mean, it's a lot of style of play.
Steph Curry broke the NBA.
He changed it, yeah.
I mean, he changed it.
Yeah.
I mean, for good or for bad. I mean, you can sit there and argue for both. I mean, I sit there and watch.
He didn't just change
he's got
NBA.
4 rings for a reason.
I watch, college basketball a good bit. I used to go to a lot of high school games that hadn't gone much this year. Like, I mean,
dude, go to a JPYB game and they're jacking up threes.
I mean, yeah,
and look,
I know
they're hitting them.
That's all they practice.
because that's how they do now.
They're hitting them.
I mean, that's all they do. I mean, these
little white kids running down the court holding up three and then doing it down here like Steph.
Yeah.
I mean, like
I know a lot of white kids that have Steph jerseys at my church.
These, I mean, they don't know how to play a lot of basketball other than that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no driving anymore. There's no kicking it out. There's so much ball.
It's weird because like whenever I grew up, it wasn't like the 3-point shooting. Like it was the crossover.
Yeah,
that was the big thing.
Crossover into like a mid range.
It was
like everybody.
You can blame that on and
AI.
one
And
AI.
Yeah.
and one,
Everybody
and then
adored that.
the Nike commercial.
Yeah.
The dribbling thing.
Yes.
That's still one of the greatest Nike
Like
commercials
that was
ever.
the highlights that we watched. We watched people.
Oh,
cross
dude,
and that's
you know?
why I think that's why I think Kyrie has such like a cult following now because Kyrie's kind of like
and
that.
if you notice it's all people like my age
Mhm.
from my era, basically.
You ever did
he's like AI.
the shirt and the basketball in the shirt and the belly and
around.
the
yeah, absolutely.
And like
It's the
Jason
move.
Williams.
Yeah.
Like it was around that era.
white chocolate baby.
Yes, sir.
But you got guys that are taking shots that don't even be taking shots. Like, I mean, they scored a lot of points back in the day because they went to the guys that they knew they were supposed to go to, and they just did work. Like, I mean, there wasn't freaking Herb Jones shooting three threes in the fourth quarter.
There were some guys. There were some guys back in that day. If you just look at their shot percentages, that would thrive. Who's the guy I saw on social media? Mark Price. Is it Mark Price, a white guy
for the Cavs?
Yeah, for the Cavs, would have killed it.
People always
Stockton,
talk about
Stockton's
Pistol
3-point
Pete all the time.
Yeah, well, Pistol was putting up stupid points.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what happened to him. He get blow out of ACL or something.
I don't know.
All I
hear
was
about
injured.
is like
couldn't stay healthy in NBA.
Yeah.
All I hear about is like that in college he was like pulling from like 40 feet.
Yeah, if he'd had a 3-point line, that record that kid from Detroit Mercy, is getting close to trying to break. It would never be broken if Pete would have had a 3-point line.
Yeah.
I mean, never been. And I don't think this kid's gonna break it anyway because he's like 63 points left. He's only got like the conference. They have to win some conference games in the tournament for him to break it. But yeah, man. Pete was he'd be one we'd be talking about, when we do our Dirty Five top NBA players and all that. If he could stay healthy, probably he was just that special.
Mm-hmm. He would have done better with modern medicine.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, man.
There's a lot of just.
How do you and
I don't even know. We're in a weird time with the NBA right now.
You got the European guys coming over too, who are just freaks. Like, look at Jokic. Look what he's doing. Mm-hmm.
Without really trying.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't look like he's trying.
He's so impressive.
I mean,
so impressive.
Watching Luka's kind of similar too. Like
he's about to three-peat for MVP.
Jokic, yeah, and he should.
Like his odds to win.
He should.
Why
how could he not? He's the best player on the best team. It'd be one thing if they were like 5 or 6.
It's the
they're
fact.
in first place.
It's just the fact of so few people have done it that it's to the point
automatically
where
looked at as like an all-time great if you do it. Basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they gave it to Karl Malone one year when MJ should have done it.
It's MJ, Wilt. Is that it? I think there's like 2, maybe
Steve
3
Nash,
people.
I think took one from
he had
Shaq
2,
or something like that. But Shaq could have done it maybe, or Kobe, one of the Laker guys.
If you win 3 MVPs in a row, you better freaking at least make it to the championship.
So you're saying he doesn't deserve it based upon his playoff performance or his team overall?
When you say most valuable player,
well, if we did it that way, LeBron would get every single year.
Yes, but when I think value,
would have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would have, and he should have. He should have won a lot more.
Zion might be in the conversation a lot more.
Yeah, he should. LeBron should have won a lot more than he did.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it was kind of a travesty that didn't, and that's why I guess it's
Take
hard
some
for me
away
to
from
sit there and watch
Steph.
the Joker win.
That's one of the things that it lost. Like whenever Steph and KD started playing together, neither of them were ever in the conversation.
Yeah.
Because it was like
couldn't be.
Yeah, you can't have both of those guys and one of them be MVP. But with Jokic, I think literally the fact that he hasn't won a championship and so few people do the three-peat, that people are kind of not even looking at this year.
But if his stats are going to be that much better and his team's, tops,
I mean, he's
how do you
averaging a
not give it to him
on a first place team? It's
the only way you don't give it to him is
his
literally the fact that you don't want him to have a three-peat.
Yeah.
Who takes it? Who takes it then?
I think the second best odds is Embiid.
Yeah.
I think that's the second best
has been right there the past couple of years, but can't do it.
Which is so weird that we're back to the big man.
Yeah.
Because we got away from it. Yeah.
Well, it's because there's only few. You got so many of your
You got them two,
small
then it's
forwards.
a gap.
Yeah,
Man.
your Tatums and your Mitchells and Devin Bookers and KDs. Like, there's just so many of those guys.
Yeah.
These guys stand out more because there's not many that can guard them. I mean, let's be honest. There's not many guys on the floor every night that can stop an Embiid or the Joker.
The NBA just feels like to me, and I'm a very, very casual, fan, but it feels like an arms race over the last 15 years. Like, it's just like, get a 3-ball, then you all of a sudden you got a big man that can move and dribble and shoot, and it just seems that's the future.
It's very weird.
Well,
MVP odds right here. Jokic is minus 305. Yeah.
And then Embiid, Giannis.
Embiid's plus 400. Giannis is plus 600. Tatum's at plus 1,600. Yeah.
I think it should be Jokic. I don't know if it will be, but we'll see.
I got a future on Jokic to win it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I told you
plus 700.
He's averaging 10 assists a game.
He's a freak. He's
the
a
third
freak.
most assists a game. Third most assists.
I mean,
behind what? Chris Paul and Trae Young?
I think so. He was
the
like top
whole
3.
entire. I mean, it runs through him though.
Yeah,
and that's what an MVP's supposed to do.
Yeah,
though,
I mean, right. I mean, but like
he's of course reliant upon his teammates, and that's why I think they ain't really won it yet, because his teammates ain't giving him that help he's needed, like they do during the regular season.
Yeah, they had
he's got regular season talent.
They had the conference championship,
and Jamal
run,
Murray
but-
wasn't there last year, correct?
Yeah, and they also played the Warriors.
But he's back this year, averaging 20.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's not the same Jamal Murray.
And
in my
Michael
opinion.
Porter Jr. is
MPJ's back.
completely different.
That's the one, in my opinion.
He looks like the number one
I mean,
recruit.
that's
they'll go.
That's
they'll
35 points from 2 guys that they didn't have last year.
Yeah, they'll go as far as Porter takes them, in my opinion.
I mean,
Murray,
Jokic is good enough to win him a game.
Here goes Jokic tonight. Just a casual 14, 10, and 11.
Yeah, I mean, but
Murray put up 32.
I mean, Murray and Porter are going to be what's going to carry him. Jokic is going to put his numbers up.
Yeah,
it's kind of a.
This is what's impressive to me.
It's kind of a Westbrook feel.
But listen how he's doing it though. 18th in points, he's averaging 25 a game. He has the third most rebounds per game at 11.7, and the fourth most assists per game.
Rebounds don't impress me because he's the biggest guy on the floor every night.
But
I mean,
still, he's still.
It's
getting
the assists that impress me more than rebounds.
Assists fourth most. He's higher than every point guard. But
when I watched them play the Clippers the other night, I don't really watch them a ton. I mean, I've seen them play the Warriors in the playoffs and stuff like that. I saw like a different side of him than I've ever seen. He was going literally shot for shot with Kawhi. Like Kawhi was going down on the right side, making a layup, making mid-range. Yeah, Jokic would get the ball at the top of the key, just drive in, flick up a shot that you don't know how it goes in, but it does.
So soft touch.
Yeah, and it showed like this way of like, I'm the best player on this floor that you don't really see from him usually. Usually he just kind of relies on his crazy pass to go to MPJ and him make a 3 or something like that. But whenever he just kind of turned it on and put his head down and went to the basket, it was really impressive to watch. I think the Nuggets are a good team. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. Honestly, I have no idea what anyone's going to do in the playoffs. The West is just so freaking
Peyton
good.
were talking about earlier, like
the West is so good.
I don't know if there's a clear cut. This team's going to win the whole thing. There ain't no favorite, I don't think.
No.
You can poke holes in every team.
Every team. And then you got some of these teams that haven't got to play together yet since the trade deadline. I mean, like
the Suns finally play together Wednesday night.
Yeah, tomorrow night for the first time. I mean,
do we want to talk about that now? Our Dirty Five, basically, because we kind of segued ourselves into there.
We can, yeah.
We kind of just brought it up.
Yeah, so our Dirty Five was going to be championship contenders post All-Star break. So factoring in these big moves that have happened and kind of what we've seen over the past couple games from people. So do we want to just do that first and kind of talk about?
I think so. Talk about teams that didn't make it, that whatever. I like that.
Yeah, go for it. So one of y'all start it because I haven't made my list. If y'all can believe that.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
As I'm making mine right now.
Yeah. Chance. Here we go.
At number 5, I got the 76ers.
All right.
I'm not going to lie. They're probably in my top 2 of teams I would like to see win it. I'd like to see him win because I think it'd be really fun. Because Embiid's really fun to watch whenever he's got it going, man. He really does. He really got it going. He's really fun to watch.
I like that pick.
Number 4, I have the Suns. You got to respect KD. If KD's healthy, I don't care what team he's on.
I respect KD.
KD's going to – whoever's team he's on is going to be a title contender, whether you like it or not.
I respect KD.
And it's probably going to be how far does DeAndre Ayton allow them to go and if he plays basketball or not.
Well,
there's 2 other names on the team.
If Ayton plays his potential,
Ayton will get played off the floor.
They'll be.
Ayton
tough.
won't be on the floor when the game matters. Let him play the Warriors. See what happens.
Are the Warriors going to be healthy?
Yeah, we'll be good.
Speaking of Warriors, I got them at number 3.
There we go.
They
believe.
If they're in there, man, it's hard to bet against them.
Never lost a series.
Care how washed people think they are.
The only thing that worries me about the Warriors,
it's hard, man.
The only thing that worries me about the Warriors is even when they're healthy, they've been losing games this year.
Nah, we're good.
Like, I mean, it's I know you.
What does it matter to
they
them?
Feel, you know who they feel like to me this year? And look, they're in my top 5. I mean, I think they still have a chance to win. They have a Tampa Bay feeling.
Yeah, like they're just
like you're
waiting
like
for the post.
Yeah, like you just get. You don't just. It's hard to just all of a sudden start winning basketball.
And you know why?
Night in, night
you
out.
know why? Because their dynasty basically just rivals the Brady dynasty right now.
Yeah.
As far as
very.
The past 15 years.
Very much so. Absolutely.
It's the same thing,
it's
but
the same.
basketball.
That's right. Exactly.
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
Couple losses, more wins.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they
that's
feel.
what it is.
But if there's a sport that you're going to do that in, it's basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have 7 games where you could say, all right, beat me 4 of them, and I'll shake your hand and say good job, basically. It's not going to be a one-game fluke thing. And that's why I think it's the best about baseball and basketball. It's really, really hard to dispute the winner.
Sucks, though, when the Dodgers are stacked the way they were.
Have you seen the Dodgers lineup this year?
Yeah, no.
Gavin Lux tore his ACL.
Gavin Lux tore his ACL. They don't have a third baseman.
Or shortstop.
They're the most vulnerable Dodger team I've seen in a decade, probably.
It's good for
us. So I'm glad he tore it. So, yeah, Warriors, I got them at 3. I hope they win it since the Pels suck. I like to see Steph Curry win. I can't help it. It's fun. It's really fun. It is.
And
you just love your brother.
My sanity level.
And I love my brother, too. Yeah.
It wouldn't be good for anyone if they don't.
They're all old, Clay. I mean,
we got a lot in the tank. Peyton over here saying, "What's Clay gonna do when they're done?" We ain't done. We got 5 more.
I answered that question correctly, by the way, the other day when you asked me that. He said he did a good job.
What?
Whenever he asked me, "What's Clay gonna do?" Whenever.
Oh, that I have belief in. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna be good in the future. We're fine.
Yeah,
we're fine.
The Bulls thought that too in the 90s.
Yeah, they didn't have
and then
Bob Myers and Steve Kerr.
The Spurs thought that too. They were the same feel. Oh, that's it's all
Steph's
about
got 6 more.
There.
I won't be alive by the time that happens. We'll see. It's a long ways away.
Matter of fact, Cowherd and I just went back on the guy who's
McIntyre.
Bucher. We're talking about that, and they were saying, boy, this would be a good chance right now with Clay playing well right now. You could get a lot of pieces for him right now because he's showing
trading Clay. No,
yeah, they were,
nope.
Because they were talking about the Jordan Poole, and they were like, man, Poole's just He's too hot and cold, and I agree.
He's a $20 million player. That's what your 6 man is.
Star or key role player is though.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to ever win the championship with Poole being your 2.
No, he can get there.
He
can get there.
I think what Poole is what he is now. I mean, he really is.
Jonathan Kuminga.
He's what I mean, and they made a good point too. Is like, look at the championship as playoffs went in. Poole weren't playing a lot of those big minutes down the stretch. Kerr, you see who Kerr trusts and who he doesn't.
Poole made big shots.
I mean, but he didn't play those big minutes coming down the stretch. He was on the bench. He was he rode with the Wiggins, who he trusts.
Oh, that's a different position.
Yeah, but he didn't ride with Poole a lot of them stretch games.
Another pitching change.
I don't really remember that. And it might have been situationally Celtics having Hortford, Robert Williams, guys like that they were playing. We had to play like a loony. So I don't know. I thought
Peyton played bigger minutes than Poole did last year.
It was all situationally defensively.
I felt like Peyton made plays a lot more than
it's 2 different players.
Peyton's more of a playoff player. Poole,
you had to have somebody
a regular season guy that you want to have.
Did you see round 1?
You had to have somebody to
without
offset
Steph.
Round one is regular season still.
You had to have a good defender out there because of Clay being still banged up.
Round 1 playoffs is never really good. They're always blowouts. They're always 4-1.
Who was that? Was that the Raptors and 76ers last year or the year before? Whenever Kawhi hit that weird shot.
That was the year they beat us. 2019.
That was
conference finals.
That was a great series.
With the whip around.
Speaking of Kawhi, man, how unbelievable where his career's gone.
It's all over the place. I forget he plays.
I watched the Clippers and I forget he's playing.
I forget
he's so good, though.
And he's so good, but he's not the Kawhi anymore. I watched Clippers twice last week, and I watched the game they played Denver. He had a decent. It kind of started looking like more like Kawhi. The one before that, but you forget he's on the 4. Like, I mean, that team's kind of just a lot going on there. But I mean, Kawhi, man, we went from Toronto.
A lot of turnover there.
Oh, absolutely. That's just a bad run
So
organization.
who you got at 2?
Number 2, I have the Celtics. I know Clay's going to disagree with that, but what a bunch.
No, that's a good pick.
It's hard to go against what they're doing. Jason Tatum is really, really good, and he has a great Robin or second Batman.
And when you think playoffs, you think
Jaylen
Marcus
Brown.
Smart too. He just, I love watching Marcus Smart play.
Is he healthy right now?
Yeah, he's good.
He's back healthy?
Yeah.
And then you had
So
the
you think
Eric
Tatum
White thing last year, too.
You think Tatum gets over the hump this year in the
No,
playoffs?
I don't think they're going to beat the Bucks. That's what I got number 1. I got the Bucks number 1.
If you take Tatum's game and you take Jaylen Brown's mindset and how he plays, that Tatum would be the man. Like Jalen's
so laid back.
Jalen's aggressive. He's got that dog in him. He calls out players. Tatum's too laid back, man.
That's the thing. Like, obviously, I'm a Duke fan, and whenever he came to Duke, people threw Kobe Bryant out there as a comparison. I remember that. That was a big thing. I remember reading it on 24/7. Like, he has Kobe Bryant tendencies. I heard people saying that, and I was like, okay, so this is going to be.
Kobe was a dog, though.
Here.
He had that dog in him.
He has
Mamba
a lot of
mentality.
characteristics like Kobe, but he doesn't
His
have
style-
that
his style
killer.
play has a lot
it's
of-
just like mid-range dominant.
Yeah, absolutely.
just like Kobe.
Fade away. And,
Yes.
Yeah, I mean.
But he does
ain't
not
got that
have
dog,
that
bro.
killer instinct. And is that a problem? No, it ain't a problem. It's a problem if he has to be the entire team by himself.
It is if you're trying to be Kobe Bryant, though.
Yeah, and it's a problem if
'Cause
you
you're not
not
gonna
have
be
a good
without it.
number 2 or a good 2 and 3.
If you're a 1B, you can do that.
I mean,
But-
Giannis has to do it by himself, in my opinion, more than he does have to rely on his teammates. So Giannis has to have that, and he kind of does have it in a different way. But Tatum don't have to have it, and that's perfectly fine. That's just not who he is. And
LeBron is like the nicest GOAT in like the conversation. Like when you look at all the GOATs in any sport,
yeah, everybody else was like
everybody else was a freaking killer. LeBron's just,
did the same kids
nice.
as his 18.
Yeah.
So you had
More
Bucks at
political.
1?
Yeah, Bucks number 1. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, Peyton.
I like that a lot, actually.
Let me go with my list because my list doesn't matter.
Okay.
My list carries no weight.
I got the Washington
Houston
Bullets.
Rockets.
Bullets.
The Bullets.
All right, now
Does Gilbert Arenas
Calm
still
down.
play?
calm down. I would go back further than Gilbert Arenas though. If it was,
I love Gilbert Arenas.
it was up to me.
Wes Unseld.
I got Golden State at 5.
There we go. Respect them.
Yeah, they got to be there because they're going to be in the playoffs, so there's always a chance. I got Phoenix at 4.
We don't know who's going to be in the playoffs in the West right now.
We'll be there.
With all that oh, yeah, they're going to be there.
We'll
But
be
I thought
there.
the other teams.
Yeah.
Phoenix at 4, Bucks at 3, Nuggets at 2, and Boston at 1.
I like it.
I like the list.
I like it.
I like it. Nothing wrong with it.
Peyton or me? Which one? Holy
matter.
crap! The Bucks on a 15-game win streak.
Yes.
just
Yes.
for fun.
Yes.
I did not know that.
And have not had the Greek freak.
I did
gonna
not
put
know
the
that.
Kings up there.
Yes.
All right.
I don't
Hey,
believe in
shout
the
out
Kings.
the Kings, man. Shout out the Kings.
My man Drew Holiday's been showing out.
Yeah.
How did they do that when they gave away like their best piece and then
Who's that?
With the Kings.
Halliburton? Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of
Well,
Holiday,
that was like the
Justin
best
Holiday's
comp-
like a starter for the Kings now.
Justin's on the Mavericks now.
Maverick, is that who it was?
Mhm.
Okay, I saw him on a team that
He
I
got
was like,
cut
why is he
from.
playing?
Where'd he get cut from? I forget. Proud
And
of
he's,
Rustin.
and he's starting on the Mavericks.
Honestly, I
He
wouldn't be
plays
shocked
off-
if he had like a spot start.
Yeah, I think
He did the other day.
How
Yeah.
bad are the Mavericks
I think it
then?
was,
How bad is their
Sunday or
supporting
Saturday.
The
cast?
Mavericks have two players that don't like
Issues.
defense, and everyone else sucks.
Yeah, the Mavs aren't good.
Never bought into that.
No.
You want to go Peyton or me?
It doesn't matter.
I'll go.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you go because we know you're number 1. Peyton's be surprised.
5 Suns, 4 Clippers, 3 Celtics, 2 Bucks, 1 Warriors.
Whoa, go there again.
5
Suns,
Clippers, Celtics, Bucks, Warriors.
Okay. All right.
No Nuggets.
Nah, I believe in the Clippers. They scare me more than anybody in the West. And then the Suns.
It's funny that
KD.
that's my 5 too. Is Clippers.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel I trust.
So what's your order? Number 5
I trust
Clippers?
Kawhi more than I do anybody on Denver's roster.
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
Memphis.
Yeah, or I don't trust Memphis at all.
Or Sacramento.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't trust
Dallas.
Mike Brown in Sacramento. I'm sorry. Yeah. Dallas, no.
That's like we said earlier. These lists are going to be very similar.
Yes, very much.
Like I had the Nuggets and the Clippers on the outskirts of mine.
Yeah, and in my opinion, you've got honestly Bucks, Celtics in the East. I don't think Philly can do it. Philly could make the championship. I don't think they can win it all.
They'd have to get hot.
I think Harden's going to hurt him a little bit.
See, I don't know, but and the Cavs are kind of like the wild card there, where you never know.
They've been so up and down all year.
Yeah, but they've just got the talent that it could click at any moment.
They could make a little run, and I could see them.
So in the East, I think it's those two teams, and in the West, honestly, in my opinion,
God knows.
It's Clippers, Warriors, Suns,
and that's it.
Honestly, it really is.
Yeah, I got Clippers at 5. I got 4. I'm gonna go Suns. 3, I'm gonna go Warriors. 2, I'm gonna go Celtics, and then 1, I'm gonna go Bucks.
So do we all have Bucks over Celtics?
I do.
Yeah,
I don't think Kyle did.
You got Celtics at 1. See, and those are.
Is Middleton
that's
back
the toughest.
Finally?
Yes,
I think they just
he
kind of
played terrible Saturday.
He's kind of back and
forth.
forth.
Yeah,
yeah, he's not back. He's back, but his game's not back. Yeah.
And that's a piece they were missing last year.
Oh, huge piece. Absolutely.
I mean, that's your second best player there. No offense to Drew Holiday.
Third best player.
I think Drew's taken that step a little bit.
But whenever
with what
Middleton's
Drew
healthy,
brings
man.
defensively.
Get
out of here, ball.
Let's go. Get up and get
Let's
out.
go.
3-runner.
Get up.
Woo! Hey, no lie, my buddy texted me before
Tigers.
this inning. He said, "Let's put 3 on this inning and close us out."
Hey.
Okay, shout out to TJ Murphy. He did.
It's your captain, Dugas. Or Dugas.
Dugas wearing that number 8, baby.
Yep. That's your
Number
captain.
8. Wasn't even supposed to come back, man. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna come
Hey,
back one more
guess
year."
what? That's what Texas gets for doing a stupid pitching change. That's what they freaking get.
That's right.
God, I hate it. College baseball's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Clay, I agree with the Drew. What he does on both ends of the floor, and I feel like every time you need a shot, Drew hits it.
Yeah,
like he will hit. He's gonna have to be out of that bunch because Giannis is not. You're not gonna rely on him to hit you 18-footer for a shot if you need it. I mean,
he'll just get to the rim and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and he will.
And the free throw line.
So you were saying the Cavs had a bunch of talent, so I went and looked at the roster.
Oh, God.
I didn't even know Ricky Rubio and Kevin Love are still playing.
Kevin
Rubio's
Love's
not there.
Ricky Rubio's on the team, yeah.
Kevin Love's the Heat.
Yeah, Love just got cut, though.
Yeah.
So his stats would say Cavs. Like, it's still on the stats.
They're going to retire his number.
Yeah. He's on the
I've
Heat
already
now.
announced it.
Wow.
But yeah, Ricky Rubio's there.
Good for Rick.
He got traded last year at the deadline from Utah. Whenever
After the Minnesota trade.
He tore his ACL, then got traded.
Yeah.
And then never played for the Cavs. He's just been in the organization for a year. Then he finally came back. And
be a nice little piece come playoff time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Brook Lopez been playing great for the Bucks. Like DPOY, I believe he's in the top 3 for the odds. You bring in Jay Crowder, who's just a winner.
Honestly. Let's not skip over my guy up there, please.
Bobby Portis.
Keep going down.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen, starter for the Milwaukee Bucks.
He is.
Yeah, he's white.
Baby. Yeah.
Just GPA.
He's dirty.
The Bucks.
What does GPA mean?
The Bucks just have a.
Oh, well, it's not a college.
They have such a good, just a good solid core roster. Like Joe Ingles. I mean, if that doesn't scream at, give me go 20 in a playoff game right quick.
Yeah.
Like he can do it for you. I like what they've built and their culture, and they've been together too.
Mm-hmm.
Like so that it's not we're trying to figure it
They've
out.
done it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
they've done
they
it.
have.
Yeah. With a lot of the same roster. So I mean,
The only teams that have done it are them and the Warriors.
That's it. That's
well,
all.
and the Lakers. But now LeBron's hurt. So,
yeah.
but
And I mean, Boston didn't win it, but they did make it. So I mean, they made it. They know how
Phoenix
to
has made it.
Yeah.
I just with Boston.
Phoenix just don't count as in the bubble.
No, it wasn't.
No,
that wasn't a bubble.
It was the
No, it
Bucks.
was before the bubble.
Bubble was Heat and Lakers.
That's right. I thought they were in the bubble too. Though.
Year after. It was in the.
I can't remember, man.
They didn't have a crowd till like April.
Is that what it was? Is that
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of?
April was when the crowds came back, and it was like kind of like 60% capacity or something. It wasn't full for a little while, but with the Celtics, it's honestly, I just don't think that. I think they're like a piece away. I don't know what that piece is, or if it's just more of an upgrade, but Brown's playing really well. I don't see him as a championship 2. And Tatum, I think, just needs someone that's a little more complimentary or, I guess, a little bit better alongside him. Whenever I see Jaylen Brown, I just don't see him as a guy that's the number 2 on your championship team. Do y'all feel that's like that way?
Brown?
He's had such a weird career, in my opinion. Like, he's gotten better as he's gone.
Yeah.
Especially being like, was he like number 7 pick or something like
3.
that? Number 3.
The problem with Brown is he's not a 3. Like
position-wise, yeah, you don't really know what he is.
Yeah, and
he's more of a 2.
He's more of a 2. But then you sit there and like, okay, so if he's my third best player on my team, it's hard to
build around him.
Yeah, but also I can't see him a roster having him as number 3. Like, I mean, that's you're paying some luxury tax. I mean, you got to really, because he's better than a 3. He's just a tough.
He's a good 2. If you have a really
if you have a KD,
I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing.
Or Steph
you give him a KD, he's a 2.
I mean, if we're being honest, he's just as good as Klay Thompson.
I mean, you give.
He's the same thing as Klay Thompson.
A lot of similarities.
The only thing different is Klay has Steph.
He's got Steph.
He's got Jason Tatum, who, is looking like he's going to be a
top
5 guy.
Trying to be.
There's also
there yet.
There's also the argument of. I wouldn't have even called Klay the second best player on the team in 2015.
Well, yeah, because you're looking at Draymond and stuff. Yeah.
Having that Draymond helps out a lot. Marcus Smart's probably your third best player.
See, in my opinion,
but Marcus Smart isn't a Draymond.
No, but Smart is he's
a championship kind of player.
Yes.
He absolutely is.
He's that leader. He's the dog. He's if Boston gets the championship, it's going to be because he has a great playoff run.
Definitely. He's that kind of just rough piece that you need.
Jaylen Brown's a Devin Booker. What Devin Booker's got KD now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like that's
and then you're looking at your top dog. You're looking at Tatum. I don't think Tatum is that guy. I really don't. I think Tatum is more of a 1B than a 1.
Tatum's going to have to. Tatum almost needs to be like hit, like punch him or something like just like get him to like.
Draymond can do that.
Get angry, get mad. Like I mean, I know you want it, but show me more of it. Like, talk a little smack out there. You know, have some dog in you, dude, because you got to be that next level where you to get there.
That's what concerns me about the Celtics. They've got a great organization, great roster up and down. I mean, pieces like Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, those guys are unheard of to be a 7th man, 6th man, 8th man.
Oh, their rosters.
Yeah, they're stupid deep. It's just you don't really see teams win in the NBA without that
superstar.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of well-constructed teams, but at the end, it matters about your one.
Yeah. Well, and y'all were talking about, well, man, Brooklyn's still good. It don't matter. You got a star.
Yeah,
like you have to have a star in the NBA.
I'm really excited to watch Brooklyn play in the playoffs. I think they're going to cause a little bit of problems. I really do.
I've watched them a couple of times, and it's I don't know.
They're just going to be long, and they're going to switch, and they're going to play good defense. And
they remind me of a Cleveland without a Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
They're
put
long,
up 30
athletic, lanky. Yeah.
I mean,
30.
Brooklyn playing the Celtics.
They don't have nobody to score, really.
I think them playing the Celtics, they'd give the Celtics some kind of problems because they match up well where the Celtics are strong at. They have Mikal Bridges they can throw at Tatum. They have Cam Johnson who can play good defense. DFS they can throw at Jaylen Brown.
One thing Boston doesn't get credit for is they play good defense.
They do. They were the number one defense last year.
Yeah, and
we exposed them. Yeah.
And I think Brooklyn's not going to be able to score on them. To be honest with you.
Oh, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
But
it would make they'd make the Celtics sweat it way more than they want to out of a first round. I think.
Yeah. I mean,
Celtics would probably rather play the Knicks or the Heat. I don't know. Who knows with the Heat? You don't know what's going to happen with them.
That's the team I wouldn't want to play playoffs.
Yeah,
Don't give
Spolstra, Jimmy Butler,
give Spolstra a 7-game scenario with a
Jimmy Butler, Kyle
Lowry, Bam, and throw K-Love out there.
Now.
I wouldn't want that at all. I'll play Cleveland before I'd play Miami, just because you know what that organization brings. And Pat Riley and them down there.
Man, I'm so ready for the playoffs. It's going to be so fun.
But, like, I mean, we were sitting there and talking, and we hadn't brought up Memphis Grizzlies, and they're the 2 seed. And are they third best record in the whole league?
Down to 5th now. They've been losing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like
Ja was fine in the West, but is he really? Nope.
No.
19-16 against the conference. Warriors are better than that.
There's just that team does not scare me at all. I mean, I don't. Memphis does not.
They're interesting.
They're interesting, but I mean,
they also need a real 2.
Yeah, they don't have a 2 at all.
I don't think Ja can necessarily be the full-on one, but
and Ja has that Dame Lillard feel to me, like he's going to be Memphis for his whole
probably.
career.
Yeah,
he just has that. I don't know.
Desmond Bane's a good player, but he's
like
not.
AI so
He's not your
much,
number.
man.
He's not a number 2 scorer. Jaren Jackson's good, but
the comparison to AI is
oh yeah,
so unreal.
definitely.
Like, there's not many better comparisons for modern day players to old players than that right there.
Yeah,
like you just said, or I think it was Clay. He needs an actual 2. AI never had a 2. You know.
Yeah, when he went to Denver, it was
always a top 2 or 3 seed.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies are probably going to be a top 2 or 3 seed. Who's going to carry them? Ja. And it's never going to be good enough.
Dame's got 13 already.
Just like he couldn't do it, you know?
They're going to have to call up Kenny Lofton, baby.
Yeah. He's ready. I'm just really ready.
He's got to get some shot.
Really ready for the playoffs. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because really, there's that West,
Nobody
man.
knows.
That West is going to be so fun to watch.
Like, it's very realistic. Like,
I want Portland to get in so bad. I just want to see Dame go off for seven games. Like, I would just love to see.
He ain't playing 7.
I mean, not 7, but I mean, like
4, 5.
I'd love to see him go out there.
Do you want to see that happen again?
That was 60.
What, Dame? Oh,
yeah.
Please.
That was 60. That was 60 in a playoff game. Like, just because he just gets hot, it starts just like I would love to see.
I think
that.
it ends up being. Let's see. I would have said the Lakers a couple days ago, but now that LeBron's hurt, in the West, Denver makes it. Grizzlies, Kings, Suns, Clippers. I think Mavericks fall down to the play-in. I think the Warriors take the 6.
When's Steph coming back?
He's getting reevaluated tomorrow. My randomly gut feeling is he plays Sunday against the Lakers. Then, yeah, you're looking at Dallas will get in somehow. I think they're going to be in that play-in, though, with the 7-8. Then you're looking at Jazz, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Blazers, Lakers, Thunder.
I think the Jazz fall out.
You would think that, but they're still sticking around.
Yeah.
They've even made trades of getting rid of some players. They're still sticking around.
We've been waiting on them to fall out since like the first week of the season.
Exactly.
When they started like 5-0.
And they have. I mean, they've
they're not a top 2 team anymore.
Yeah, they're
trying to
down.
lose,
yeah.
and they're still better than half the teams in the West.
The team that disappoints me is Minnesota. It's just golly, man.
And Cat's been hurt, but
he's always hurt now. I mean,
hey, Nas Reed,
dude,
he's a legend.
Did y'all
against
watch
the
that other
Warriors.
night when he had the freaking
Warriors?
Yes, the first quarter.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, man, he's having a good quarter. And I look up, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I got on Twitter, and I'm scrolling, and I come across Clay's burner account basically on there. And it's like, I guess Nas Reed's on this BS again tonight.
That's it. He's more of a matchup nightmare to us than Rudy Gobert is. I'll play Rudy all night.
Shout out to Minnesota for giving him that 4-year contract after his rookie year. Like everybody's like, why? That's a steal contract. Yeah. I mean, they're not paying him nothing. Nas Reed.
Yeah.
They like signed him after his rookie year deal, gave him like a 4-year deal.
Shout out Will Wade for paying him to come to Baton Rouge from New Jersey.
Thank you, Will Wade.
All right, well,
coach of the,
anything else y'all want to say?
Shut up.
It's happening.
You think Clay goes on rants? He gets that Ole Miss job? I'm going to be livid.
Chance, I want to congratulate you. You had my wife talking to me about load management in the NBA after your post about LeBron.
You like that?
I was like, what is she like? She
saw the
doesn't.
first comment on that.
Who was that?
I can't say it.
Okay, I'll go look. But my wife was talking about he doesn't play. And I was like, oh Lord. My wife's been reading on Facebook.
Yeah, she don't need to be reading that man's stuff underneath my post.
All right,
I'm over here trying to spread the good news about LeBron James. God forbid.
You can't do that.
No, heck no. I think somebody commented "La Bum" today.
Probably.
I was like, okay.
La Flop will always be the greatest, though.
I call him Lego.
This is fun. Glad to talk basketball. Feels good. Lots more coming. Don't know when our next pod will be. Probably sometime later this week. We'll get something out.
Chops and Chains coming pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll be doing that next couple days. Peyton, get your what is it? Teed up?
Teed off.
Teed off. Yeah.
Teed off. Hey, we got the Arnold Palmer this weekend.
Hey, Bay Hill, I'm ready.
I've watched a lot of golf recently.
You need to get that going. Get some golf going for us.
Shane Lowry couldn't pull it off for the big man.
I know.
For me, man.
No one knows where
he had a heck of a third round.
No one knows where the caught stealing guys are. They're mysteries.
Well, Josh, it's gonna be hard for Josh.
Yeah, I think Quitman is at Airline tonight.
They are.
Bill, you never know what happens with the UFC. Bill, Derek is probably just waiting on a call.
Yeah. He's sitting at his computer right now.
Have y'all heard about Quitman and Zawali? Like how that played out?
Oh, they played tonight, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Did they lose?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. What's about to happen here? Feels like
I'm
that's
sure.
a story.
I mean, I'm sure they lost. No, I don't know.
I thought someone got in a fight or something.
Well, you know, their starting center got little facial trauma.
He didn't make it back.
I don't know. I doubt it.
You never know.
I mean, he was unconscious, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Go Warriors, baby. Let's make this comeback. We're down 17 already.
Just go basketball, finally.
Go basketball. We're here.
Hey, we talked football, so I'm gonna say who did.
Who did? Yeah.
Go LSU baseball.
Don't keep pounding.
How about them dogs?
Yeah. Screw Ole Miss.
Oh, piss.
This ain't how it's supposed to be. It should be just you and me.